what's inside. Okay? But you got to open it. Okay? All you got to do is figure out how to open it. All right, keep working on that. All right, in the meantime, we're going to tell a story. And I know you guys know this story, but this story has a really important part that I think most people miss. Okay, so we're going to retell this story and see what you guys can pick up, right? The story goes like this. It's found in Luke chapter 15, and it says, a man had 2 sons. All right? A man had a son and a daughter. How about that? A man had a son and a daughter, and the one daughter, we'll say, said to her father, Dad, I'm done. I want to go live on my own. I want to do my own thing. Give me my inheritance now. So, Caitlin, that's what I need you to say. Give me my inheritance now. Okay, so the father passes half of his estate to his oldest child, daughter. And the Bible says that she takes that money and she goes and she spends it on wild living and partying. All right, Caitlin. You've packed your bags. Packed your bags. Here you go. Put this on here. Here we go. Here we go. And you're going to go fiesta. All right? Is that how you party? Please dance a little bit. No, okay. So Caitlin, she's off partying. She's having a great old fiesta. Did you get the chocolate yet? All right. Keep working on that. All right? So she's off partying. And soon she realizes that her friends, that she thinks are her friends, they're not really friends. They're just spending her money. And she's like really frustrated. And soon she runs out of money altogether. In fact, she has to sell her hat. She's so sad. And she's starving now. The Bible says that she's wasted all her money. She's rock bottom. She's now eating with pigs. And in Bible times, that's no better than it is today. You don't want to eat with pigs. And she's thinking to herself, I bet if I went home and I talked to my dad would let me be one of his servants maybe. And maybe he'll let me eat with his pigs. Or maybe even his servants. And so she thinks to herself, I know what I'll do. You got to say that.
I know what I'll do.
You got to say it with conviction. I know what I'll do.
I know what I'll do.
I'll go home.
I'll go home.
And I'll apologize to my dad.
And I'll apologize to
And I'll say, I'm not worthy to be your son.
Daughter.
Sometimes the contextualization is tough. I'm not worthy to be your daughter.
I'm not worthy to be your daughter.
Please let me be your servant.
Please let me be your
And so she takes this long walk back to the father. Now, it says this. When she's a long way off, the father sees her and he bolts for her. Because he is so excited that his daughter, who was lost, is now found. She's dead and she's alive. She's coming home. He gets so excited and he says to his servants, I'm going to give her a hug. You get the party stuff. All right? And he goes out and he gives her this big hug. And the servants come and he says, I want you to take the finest robes. I want you to put a robe around her. Here we go, Kate. Put a robe around her. There you go. Put a robe around her. Put a ring on her finger. Here. Or 2 fingers. Nice. We're going to have a party. Kill the fatted calf. Let's have a blast. Right? How do you like that? Is that what you expected? It's not what the older son expected either. But it shocked the prodigal. Meanwhile, Mr. Responsibility here. Now, we all know that Kenton is the responsible one of this duo, right? Mr. Responsibility? No one ever believes that, do they? He's thinking to himself, what is going on? All he can hear is like music and partying and all this stuff. He's like, what's the big deal? So he says to his servant, hey, dude, what's going on? You gotta say that.
Thanks for coming.
He said, what's going on?
What's going on?
The servant says, well, your sister, who is dead, is now alive. She was lost and now she's found. She's home again. And so your dad has killed the fatted calf. He's put a robe on her. He's put a ring on her finger. And he's having a big party. You're right. But now how does that make you feel, Kenton? Isn't that just totally unfair? See, because here's what the brother says. I need you to hold this. Don't do anything with it. Seriously. Don't do anything with it. He says to Dad, what's going on, Dad? What's going on? Yes, yes. That's your line.
Fine.
What's going on?
What's going on?
Say, I've been working hard this whole time.
I worked hard this whole time.
I've always obeyed you. always obeyed you.
I obeyed you.
You never throw me a party.
Never go near me.
What's the big deal?
What's the big deal?
He's all upset. Now the father says to the son, son, put that down. I love you. And I couldn't love you any more. There's nothing you need to do to earn my love. And the reality is, everything that I have belongs to you. As long as you're hanging out at my place, this is all yours. If you want a party, all you had to do was ask. Now, most people, when they hear this story, they talk about this guy, this person, this girl, the prodigal, right? But the story's not about the prodigal. We've misnamed that. This whole story is about this guy. Because what he doesn't realize is that as long as he's in the Father's house, he doesn't have to earn his love. Listen to that very carefully. There is nothing, this is the story here. There is nothing you can possibly do to lose God's love. He loves you no matter what. You're his child. There is nothing you can do to make God love you any less. But sometimes I think we need to know the other lesson. There's nothing you can do to make God love you anymore. Did you think about that? There's nothing you can do to make God love you any less, and there's nothing you can do to make God love you anymore. He loves you with all of his love all the time. And a lot of us, we're like this guy. We say, God, I'm working really hard to earn your love. I'm trying to obey. I'm trying to do everything right. Just bless me. And you know what the Father says? The Father says, everything I have is yours. All you have to do is ask. Now, have this right here. You have this right there. You can pick up your robe. Ethan, what's going on, dude? You're having a hard time with that, aren't you?
Yeah.
How come?
Okay.
You know, do that. You're too smart. You know what? You don't have to open that yourself. I know the secret. Do you want to know how to get in the box? I give you one guess. What do you think Ethan needs to do to get into that box? Everybody say it.
Ask.
What are you going to do? You want me to help you? Can you ask? Can you say, can you help me, please? I love this. Where's this? Over here. Over here. What's the lesson? Nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to earn God's love. He loves you. Infinitely, he loves you. All you have to do is ask. All you have to do is ask. Would you guys give these guys a hand for helping?